In my previous tutorial, I showed you how I converted a gaping armhole into a dart, like this. If you are yet to see the video, I will drop the link in the description below. Looking at this pattern, I actually have a plan for this pattern. I intend to transfer this dart from here to the shoulder. I'm transferring the dart to the shoulder because I want to make a princess seam that runs through the shoulder, not into the armhole. So in order to do that, I need my dart to be on the shoulder line, not here. So I will be moving this dart from here to here, and that means I will need a back bodice that will have a dart on the shoulder line as well. I have not really used a back bodice that has a shoulder dart before, because the one without the shoulder dart equally serves me well. So in this tutorial, I will be drafting a back bodice that has a shoulder dart, so that when I move this to the shoulder, I would also have a dart on the back shoulder. I hope you get what I mean. So without further ado, let's go ahead and start. To start with, I'll be drafting the back bodice, and I'm using the exact measurement I used for this front for the back as well. So the length of this is 14 inches. I'll draw my starting point. My shoulder to length to the waist is 14 inches. So I'm using 14 inches for the length, because that's exactly what I used for the front. I'm checking my length, and I used 10.5 for the bust point. Connecting the dots. For the back measurement, my back is 14 inches divided by 2. I have 7 inches. I'll be adding ½ inch for the back dart. So here I'll be marking 1 inch for the shoulder to connect this as the shoulder slants to the center back. Here I will measure 7 inches, which is my armhole length, and connect. And I'll mark the 7.5 on the slanted line again. 7.5 here as well. Okay, this is my waist line. I'm connecting the dots with a straight line. This is the bust line, waist, and the chest line. On the chest line, I'll measure my bust plus 1/4 inch, and this would be for my bust circumference divided by 4. For the front, the dart intake was 1.5 inches, so my waist circumference is 28 inches plus 1.5. 28 inches divided by 4, that's 7 inches plus 1.5 for the dart. So I'm adding extra 1.5 to this place. My bust span is 4.5. I'm dividing the dart intake on both sides of the bust span. This is 3/4 inch, and this is 3/4 inch. I'll measure 4.5 on on the chest line. My dart is starting from the chest line, not from the bust. So I'm starting 1 inch below the chest line. Now connect the bust span to 1 inch below the chest line on the bust span as well. I'm connecting my dart legs. Connect your dart legs. And connect your side seams. Now for the armhole, I'll divide 7 inches, my armhole length, by 2 and connect my armhole with a curve. Now this is my back armhole. For the neckline, I'm using the same front neck width I used. The neck width I used for the front is 3 inches. That's what I'm using here as well. And for the back, I'll use 1 inch. Connect. So this is my back neckline. So for this place, in order to insert my dart, I would divide the shoulder line by 2. I have 4.5 inches here, divided by 2. That will be 2 1/4 of an inch. And I will divide my dart intake on both sides. That means my dart intake, the one I added to the back measurement, was 1/2 inch. That means for the dart legs, I will be adding 1/4 inch on both sides of the. And from this point, I'll connect to the center of the shoulder line. So from the shoulder line, we would measure 3 inches on this line. And that will be the starting point of the dart. So we'll connect from here, draw our dart legs on both sides of the line. Now we have a dart at the back of our pattern. So I think we are pretty much done. To finish up, I will just throw the dart and see how it will work. So to fold the dart, we'll be folding one leg of the dart on the other leg. Remember what we did for the front. We have to throw the dart, so that's what I'm doing here. I'm folding one leg of the dart on the other leg and using my tracing wheel. Can't really see the tracing wheel mark, so I just cut it out. Okay, so we have our darts on the back of the bodice. Now this is my front pattern and this is the back pattern. So the back bodice is wider here than the front because we added extra for the dart. So when we fold the dart like so, when we fold the dart, we would end up having the same width we have for the shoulder line of the front on the back as well. The next thing is to also cut the pattern out. And so we have the back pattern for this front bodice. Now this is our front with a waist dart and an armhole dart, and this is the back with a waist dart and a shoulder dart. So we have a two darted bodice here. In my next video, I will show you how to through a pattern and also how to move your dart around to another location, because I actually want this shoulder and I actually want this armhole dart to move to the shoulder so that I would have the same location for my dart in my front and my back. And that's it for today's tutorial. Thank you for watching. Kindly hit the subscription button so that you'll be notified next time I have new videos. I'll drop the link in the comment below for the drafting of the front pattern. Thank you for watching. Bye.